This morning, we left Grand Teton National Park, and this video will document our journey from Salt Lake City, Utah to Denver, Colorado. Our first stop was Antelope Island State Park so that we could get a good view of the Great Salt Lake.
What are you seeing? Huh?
The Great Salt Lake.
Is that a fly?
Brine fly.
Wow. Is that a dead bird?
Oh my god.
How's the water feel?
It's actually pretty warm.
You didn't taste it?
I kind of do, but not after all those dead birds.
How's the walk?
It's fine.
I thought you were saying it's very sad.
It's a very sad and lonely beach. Not what we're used to in Florida. While the beach scenery of the Great Salt Lake wasn't necessarily ideal for us, it was very interesting to see the different ecosystem of the Great Salt Lake with minimal life inside the water and teeming with brine flies on the outside. After getting our fill of the Great Salt Lake, we decided to explore the rest of Antelope Island State Park, and there were several hikes that we could have done, but because it was very hot with minimal shade, we decided to go to the Fielding Gar Ranch instead to learn about homesteading history.
So being from the agriculture background, I was really fascinated by some of the old equipments they had, some of the old tractors, old combines. It was really cool to see these old equipments and trying to imagine that how agriculture was there back then with the use of these equipments.
Trucks, tractors, and wagons displayed here are what would have been used in the ranch over its 133 years. The spring house was the first refrigerator on Antelope Island. Power was not available until the 1950s. Water evaporating in this room kept it cool enough to store milk and cheese.
Is that milk and cheese back there?
That's milk. While he was very interested and excited about historical agriculture equipment, I was very excited about crumble cookies, which we got to stop by in where we were staying, which was in Provo, Utah. The cookies were very delicious. We got 4 different kinds, and I would happily go back again. Where are we going today?
So this is day 2 of road trip, going to Arches National Park, driving from what's the name of the city?
Provo,
Utah, and it is gonna take us. It took us 3 hours almost, and pretty nice drive, a lot of scenic view and some rain. I think there's a scenic view right now, but it was there before.
how are you feeling about the rain?
It's a little tricky. See some ice here. It's getting cooler, I guess. It's 52 degrees. But we're only 10 minutes away, so.
Are you looking forward to hiking in the rain?
We will see how it goes. We'll get some rain jacket. Let's see how much we can walk in rain. What's your thought right now, Modi?
I'm confused as why there's so many people in this line.
Good concern. I'm too. It looks like busy season had started in the Arches National Park, so it took us almost 30 minutes to get inside the national park, even though we were there early in the morning. It was raining in the park, so we decided to drive a little bit further and hoping the rain to stop, but it still kept raining, so we wrapped ourselves into this raincoat and decided to hike in the rain. So ready for the hike?
I don't know.
Well covered up? That was me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. With the landscape trail. And it's not landscape trail, what is this?
Devil's Garden.
Devil's Garden, and we'll do a landscape trail, the easiest. So we are starting the trail. Which one are you going first?
Landscape Arch.
Windy?
Yeah.
It's not Whoop.
The first stop was Landscape Arch, which is the widest arch in Arches National Park. And these arches are made from sandstone, which crumbles at weak spots and the rock falls, leaving the arches that remain, the beautiful arches that we see.
So if you want to go to other arches, you can hike more and go to other arches from here. But it just had recently rained and the rocks were a little wet, so we didn't want to get slipped on those rocks, and Miss Modi was really scared about those slippery rocks, so decided not to hike further, and she's giving me this sassy look when I forced her to go a little bit up. Look at that Modi. She didn't want to come.
After leaving Landscape Arch, we made our way to Sand Dune Arch, and by this time the weather has changed so much and it's already sunny and bright.
Where are you coming from?
Sand Dune Arch. For the rest of the day, we drove around the national park, stopping by several different arches. Some of them were just viewpoints that we stopped at. Some of them had small hikes. There are also options for longer hikes if that's what you're interested in. This park has lots of options for everyone.
What are you looking at?
Delicate Arch.
What is that?
Delicate Arch. Where are we going?
We're going to another viewpoint.
Which one?
I remember. Windy?
Yep.
Where is this?
Double Arch.
What do you get, Modi?
Double arches.
Is it cool?
It's probably the best one I've ever seen.
Nice.
This was the last arch stop for the day, and it started to get really windy, so we headed out of the park and went to our hotel in Green River, Utah, and tomorrow we'll be making our way to Canyonlands National Park.
So, Modi, how was the park?
It was interesting. It was not something that I'd ever seen before.
Short and sweet.
Day 3 of road trip, Canyonlands National Park.
We were in the park only for a day, but the park was big. And we went to the visitor center and asked which are the important things that we could do in a day. And we just did only one area, Island in the Sky area. What is this?
They're like churches built underground, out of salt. Oh, everything out of salt. It's crazy.
A crater?
Upper Dome.
The first stop was to Upheaval Dome, which was a short 0.8 mile round trip hike. If we had wanted to, we could have gone a little bit further to a second overlook, but we decided to just do the first overlook.
After this, we went to Riverview Overlook and we saw a Grand View Canyon. It was a pretty big canyon. We saw a lot of off-roads. You could see people biking on those roads, jeeps, trucks. After seeing this overlook area, we started our hike to see this Grand View Canyon from different angles. Okay, it's a hot trail. Muddy. It's a hot trail.
Not really.
Do that one. Other one. Like that, yeah. Another one.
Along this hike, there are many places to stop and take pictures of the canyon at different angles. The trail itself is very flat except for a few staircases that you have to go up and down. However, it is very windy up there and there's no protection from, the cliff edge, so you have to be very careful and make sure that you have a nice wide distance between you and the edge of the canyon.
Let's see how deep it is. Don't touch me. What is this, Molly?
Mesa Arch.
Mesa Arch. The last stop for the day, but the most important one.
While the view of Mesa Arch is beautiful from afar, it's very worth going up to it and seeing the view from the inside of the arch.
You excited for?
Yeah,
Where are you at?
a winery
Winery
in Palisade,
in Palisade called
Colorado.
Wine County of Colorado, something.
I don't know.
So we left the national park around 3 o'clock and drove almost 2 hours to get to Palisade, Colorado. It is a wine county, so we wanted to have a nice wine evening, but unfortunately the winery we were going was closed, so we had to go to the another brewery in the downtown, which was pretty cool. How's your wine? Drinking wine in brewery.
The next morning, we went back to the winery, which was called La Maison La Belle Vie, and we were able to get some wine flights, and it was a really nice, relaxing, peaceful environment, and a great start to our day.
Finally got your wine. Happy? First glass of the flight.
After finishing up at the winery, we went back to the brewery because we liked it so much, and it was called the Palisade Brewing Company. They had live music, a nice atmosphere, and good food and beer and wine.
That was your third wine today? Ooh. So what's the name of this winery? Talon Winery, right out of the Interstate 70. And we got
White Merlot.
White Merlot and did a wine tasting. It's good.
Got 3 tastings for $5.
Good deal.
Today's day 4 of the road trip, and this morning we started off in Palisade, Colorado, drinking wine and some beer. The plan was to come here to Glenwood Springs to the hot spring, but it's a little bit too crowded for us, and it kind of seems like we'd just be
Staying in a hot tub.
in a hot tub full of strangers, and that's not our vibe today, so we passed.
What, drinking the spring water?
Drinking spring water, people drank it for years for health, and I'm gonna go ahead and drink It smells very bad.
Sulfury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes bad too.
What are you doing? So this is the Iron Hot Spring. It's more quieter, nicer, and isolated.
Better for adults.
Yeah, than the other one.
That it requires reservation, so if you want to go, make a reservation.
Yeah, a little expensive, $30 than the other one, but better hot spring area. So next morning we started driving towards Denver and we plan to stop by Rocky Mountain National Park. It's Colorado Tunnel.
Day 5 road trip is right. Rocky Mountain National Park. And the entrance that we used was the Wild Basin entrance, and the roads
It's
here
also wild
are also
and rough.
wild. So don't bring a car. Bring a good car.
Jeep.
At the end of this very bumpy road, there's a road closed sign. We don't know what's going on, but we will be talking to the ranger to see if we can figure out what's going on. I don't know how we can turn around.
So finally, this is our first stop.
Sprott Lake. It's a nice, easy 0.5 mile walk.
And it's pretty windy. And I want the pretty nice view here. This one or this one? After this, we drove towards the Bear Lake area to do some short hiking.
The hike at Bear Lake is a pretty mild hike, but in the winter it was very snowy and covered in ice, and this Florida girl was not interested in walking on those trails, so we just decided to have a nice little rest by the lake instead. Some ice from Bear Lake.
Bear might come out. Don't do that.
It's cold.
Really? I thought ice was warm, huh?
Yeah.
Good information. After Bear Lake, we drove towards Alberta Falls, but it was very hard to find a parking. We finally found the parking and now we are hiking towards Alberta Fall. It's only couple of mile hike. It's not a lot, but still we're tired, and still there was a lot of snow on the trail, and especially Miss Mode is pretty struggling here. Modi, are you still grumpy? You like it? Look at that Modi. She didn't come. Scared to walk over the ice, huh? After finishing Alberta Falls, we decided to go drive towards Rainbow Curve, and we stopped by multiple places to see the view of the nice, beautiful mountain. And that would be the last stop for the day. What's your verdict?
It's beautiful. Definitely worth the drive.
So this is the maximum we're gonna see for today. A lot of rocks here, a lot of snow there, and our road is here. So they closed the road at the Rainbow Curve, but I still kept walking a little bit up to see more broader view. Yep. More and more view. So now we are leaving the park, going downhill to Denver and going to Portland, and that will be end of our 5th day of
Road trip.